Hello, everyone. I am here with another horror story for you, and this story about the Motel Room 209. If you like this content and stories, please help us to grow. That way you'll be motivating us. Enjoy the story.
The very first thing you notice about Motel Room 209 is the smell. Not the usual musty carpet or stale cigarette smoke. It's sweeter, like overripe fruit left in a hot car. The front desk clerk told you it was the best room on the budget level. He didn't look you in the eyes when he handed over the key. You should have asked why room 208 and 210 were permanently sealed with steel plates. You should have asked about the girl who checked in 3 days before you, the one who never checked out. But you were tired. It was 1 a.m. Your phone was at 4% battery, and the next hotel was 60 miles away, so you signed a register. You gave them a credit card that would later show charges for things you never ordered. And you walked down the outdoor corridor, past the vending machine that only dispensed empty cans, past the ice machine filled with black water, until you reached the door with the brass number 209. The keycard worked on the third try, which should have been your second warning. Inside, the room is almost aggressively normal. Beige walls, a flickering tube TV, a queen bed with a stained floral quilt. But here's the problem. Every single mirror in the room is facing the bed. Not the door, not the window. Every reflective surface is angled so that no matter where you stand, you are always watching yourself lying down. The maintenance tag on the bathroom mirror has a handwritten note. It says, "Do not remove cover." You remove it anyway. Behind the mirror cover, there is a small hole drilled directly into the wall. It's not for a screw or a hanger. It's the perfect size for a human eye. And on the other side, looking back at you, is the room next door. But there is no room next door. Remember the steel plates. Room 208 is sealed with concrete. So what is on the other side of that hole? This is where it gets worse. You check the peephole on the main door. Usually you see the parking lot. Here you see the inside of another room. Another bed. Another mirror. And someone sitting on the edge of that bed. They are not moving. They are just sitting there, head down, hands in their lap. You can't tell if it's a man or a woman. The lighting is too dim. But you notice one detail that makes your stomach turn. Their shoes are untied. Both shoes. Like someone untied them after they stopped being able to do it themselves. You call the front desk. The phone rings twice before the line clicks. No one speaks, but you hear breathing, slow and deliberate, then a whisper that sounds like it came from inside your own skull. You're in 209. They hang up. You try the door. It won't open. The deadbolt slides back and forth, but the latch never catches. It's like the door frame is half an inch thicker than it should be. Like the room was built around you after you walked in. The TV turns on by itself. Not static. Not a channel. It's a security camera feed showing the hallway outside your door. The hallway is empty except for a single rolling suitcase. The same color as yours. The same scratch on the handle. That's your suitcase. But you left it in the trunk of your car. You remember putting it there. You remember checking twice because you were worried about the rain. The camera tilts up slowly. Someone is standing behind the camera. You can only see their shoes. White sneakers. No laces. The same pair the missing girl was last seen wearing in the missing persons report you read at the gas station 30 miles back. The report said she was 22, a student. She checked into the motel for one night to break up a long drive. Her car was found in the parking lot with the engine running. Her phone was found under the bed. Her body was never found. The case went cold after 6 months. The detective assigned to it quit. He moved to a different state and changed his name. His last known interview mentioned something about a room that moves. Now the lights go out, but not completely. There's a green glow coming from under the bed. You kneel down and see a trapdoor cut into the floorboards. It has no handle, just a fingerprint scanner glowing faintly. You press your thumb against it. The door clicks open. A ladder goes down into complete darkness. The air rushing up from that hole is cold. Not basement cold. Refrigerated cold, the kind of cold you feel in a morgue. And at the bottom of that ladder, you hear something humming. A motor, a fan, and 35 phone chargers all plugged into the same power strip. That's when you realize the missing girl's phone was found under the bed, but her charger was never recovered. Neither were the chargers of the other missing guests. They are all down there, still plugged in, still drawing power, still waiting for phones that will never be used again. This is the part the police reports never mention, the part the online forums delete within hours. Room 209 is not a room. It's a junction, a single point where 3 different missing persons cases intersect. The girl with the white sneakers, a truck driver who vanished in 2019, a college student who booked the room for one night and never made it to class. Their phones all pinged the same cell tower at 3 a.m. Their last known locations all trace back to this exact motel. And in the dirt beneath the floor, guests have carved their names into the foundation. Hundreds of them, going back 40 years. Some of the names are faded. Some are fresh. One of them is dated 3 days from now. The handwriting matches yours. You haven't carved anything yet, but the name is already there, waiting for you to catch up to it. The humming stops. The ladder shakes. Something is climbing up. You scramble back into the room and slam the trapdoor shut. But the fingerprint scanner now reads your print as authorized, meaning you are now part of the system, meaning you cannot check out. Not ever. The room shifts. The walls contract slightly. The door that led to the hallway now leads to a brick wall. The window that showed the parking lot now shows a black void. And the mirrors, all of them now reflect not your face, but the face of the last person who slept in this bed. The missing girl. She's smiling, but her eyes are not looking at you. They are looking at something behind you. You turn around. No one is there. But when you look back at the mirror, she is closer. Her face fills the entire frame now. Her mouth is open, not screaming, not speaking, just open, like something crawled out of it and never came back. The final detail the motel doesn't want you to know. Room 209 has no fire escape, no sprinkler system, no smoke detector. It fails every safety code in the state. But the motel stays open because the owner filed a religious exemption. He claims 209 is a pilgrimage site, and every night, between 2 and 3 a.m., the receptionist leaves a key on the front desk. Just one key, for whoever is desperate enough, for whoever doesn't read the reviews, for whoever thinks a cheap room is worth the risk. The last thing you hear before the mirrors go dark is the sound of white sneakers walking across the ceiling. They pace back and forth for exactly 90 seconds. Then they stop. Then a knock comes from inside the wall. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks. Pause. Then a voice. Not the girl's voice. Something older. Something that has been asking the same question for 40 years. Are you comfortable? Before you can answer, the bed sinks 6 inches. Like something crawled under it. Like something has always been under it. Waiting for you to lie down. Waiting for you to close your eyes. Waiting for the exact moment when your breathing slows and your body relaxes. That's when the hand reaches up. You won't see it. You'll only feel the cold. And then nothing. But here is the truth the owner wrote in a diary that was found in the basement of his house after he himself disappeared. Room 209 was never built. It was always there. The motel was constructed around it. The original surveyors noted an anomaly on the land. A patch of dirt that stayed cold year-round. A patch where nothing grew. Not weeds. Not grass. Nothing. They poured concrete over it and built room 209 on top. But the concrete cracked within a week. The pipes burst. The wiring shorted. Every contractor who worked on that room quit. One of them went blind. Another lost the ability to speak. The third was found sitting in his truck in the parking lot, staring at the room, repeating the same 3 words over and over. It was here. It was here. It was here. The guests who survived room 209 are few. They never give interviews. They never return to that part of the state. But one of them wrote a letter to a true crime podcast before he died. In the letter, he described what happened after the trapdoor closed. He said the room started to breathe. The walls expanded and contracted like lungs. The ceiling dripped water that tasted like salt. The bed would shift positions every time he blinked. And the mirrors. He said the mirrors began to show not his reflection, but his memories. Every mistake he ever made, every person he ever hurt, every secret he buried. They played on a loop for hours, and each time the loop repeated, the room got smaller, until he was pressed against all four walls at once, until he couldn't move his arms, until he couldn't breathe. Then the trapdoor opened again, and the ladder came up, and something climbed out. He didn't see its face. He only saw its hands. 12 fingers, no thumbs. It reached for him, and then the letter ends. The last sentence is written in a different handwriting, smaller, shakier. It says, "Thank you for reading. Now delete this." The online forums have a rule about room 209. You never say its real name. You never post the address. You never share photos. Because the room finds people who look for it. The algorithm picks up keywords. The GPS logs track searches. And within 72 hours, a reservation appears in your name. A confirmation email arrives in your spam folder. A keycard is cut and left on the front desk. You don't remember booking it. You don't remember driving there. But you wake up in the parking lot at 1 a.m. Your phone is at 4% battery. Your suitcase is in your trunk. And the smell of overripe fruit is already in your clothes. You are already checked in. You just haven't realized it yet. The scariest part is not what happens inside the room. The scariest part is how easy it is to forget. Survivors report losing days, weeks even. They remember fragments. A green glow, a ladder, the sound of untied shoes on linoleum. But the details fade. The brain protects itself by erasing the trauma. Except one detail always remains. The number, 209, it appears in their dreams. It shows up on license plates. It's the total on their grocery receipt. It's the time they wake up every night without fail. 209, 209, 209. Like a brand. Like a reminder that the room is not done with them. Like a promise that one day they will check in again. And this time, they won't check out. The motel is still open today. You can book room 209 online. The reviews are strangely positive. 5 stars. Words like unique and unforgettable and life-changing. No one says what actually happened. No one describes the mirrors or the trapdoor or the ladder. They just write "see for yourself." And the photos attached to the reviews are always the same. A blurry shot of the bed, a dark hallway, a reflection in the mirror that shows something that wasn't in the room when the picture was taken. One review has a photo of the ceiling. In the corner of the photo, barely visible, is a pair of white sneakers. No legs, no body, just the sneakers, resting on the ceiling like gravity forgot they existed. The review is from 3 weeks ago. The username is a string of numbers. The account was deleted the next day, but the sneakers remain. In the photo, in the room, in your memory now that you have read this. The missing girl's name was Emily. She was studying forensic psychology. She chose the motel because it was cheap and close to a crime scene she was visiting for her thesis. She was researching how places hold trauma, how walls absorb screams, how floorboards remember footsteps. She was only supposed to stay one night, but she extended her stay 3 times. Her emails to her professor became strange. She wrote about a room that taught her things, a room that showed her every crime she would ever solve, every body she would ever find, every killer she would ever catch. Then her emails stopped. Her phone sent one final text, not to her professor, not to her family, to her own number. The text said, "I see you," and then nothing. Her body was never found, but her thesis was. It was open on her laptop in room 209. The last page was blank except for a single sentence. The room does not take you. You give yourself to the room. The door was unlocked when the maid found it. The bed was made. The mirrors were clean. And on the pillow, a single white sneaker. No lace. No match. No explanation. You are still reading this. That means you are still thinking about room 209. That means the room is already aware of you. It doesn't need your location. It doesn't need your name. It just needs your attention. And you gave it that the moment you clicked on this video. The same way Emily gave it her curiosity. The same way the truck driver gave it his exhaustion. The same way the college student gave it her loneliness. The room feeds on attention like a parasite. The more you learn, the hungrier it gets. The more you forget, the closer it moves. By the time you finish this sentence, the room will have shifted, not in physical space, but in probability. The odds that you will one day stay in a budget motel. The odds that the only room left is 209. The odds that you are too tired to ask questions. Those odds just increased. By reading this, you increased them. Congratulations. You are now a person of interest. The room has noted your name. It has added you to the foundation. Your name is not carved yet, but the space for it has been reserved. Right between Emily and the truck driver. Right where the concrete is softest. Right where the cold air leaks through. Right where the ladder waits. The receptionist quit last month. She gave an interview to a local news station before she disappeared. She said the motel owner made her follow one rule above all others. Never look in the mirrors of room 209 after 3 a.m. She broke the rule once. She was curious. She looked. She said her reflection smiled at her first. Then it waved. Then it turned around. And on the back of her reflection's head was a face she had never seen before. An old face. A patient face. A face that had been waiting for someone to make eye contact for a very long time. She ran. She quit. She drove 400 miles. She changed her name. But every night, at exactly 2:09 a.m., she wakes up. And her reflection is no longer hers. It's the old face. Smiling. Waiting. Asking the same question. Are you comfortable? She has not slept through the night since. She has not looked in a mirror since. She brushes her teeth with her eyes closed. She showers in the dark. She covers every reflective surface in her apartment with newspaper. But the face finds her anyway. In the window. In her phone screen. In the surface of her coffee. It's always there. Just behind her. Just out of focus. Just patient enough to wait for her to stop running. The truck driver's name was Marcus. He was 47. He had 2 kids. He was delivering frozen food to a warehouse 60 miles past the motel. He stopped because he was tired. He stopped because the radio was playing static. He stopped because the GPS told him there was a vacancy. The GPS was wrong about a lot of things. Marcus checked in at 11 p.m. He called his wife at 11:30. He said he loved her. He said he would be home by noon. He said the room was weird, but he was too tired to care. Those were his last words. His truck was found in the parking lot with the engine still running. The frozen food thawed and spoiled. The warehouse never got the delivery. His wife filed a missing persons report. The police searched the room. They found nothing. No blood. No struggle. No note. But they found something in the closet. A small hole in the wall. Behind the hole, a tunnel. Not a tunnel for a person. A tunnel for something smaller. Something that slides. Something that leaves a trail of frost on the concrete. The police followed the tunnel for 200 feet. It ended at a dead end. But the dead end was warm. And on the warm concrete, a single word was written in condensation. Stay? The college student's name was David. He was 19. He was driving home for Thanksgiving. He booked the room online because it was the cheapest option within 50 miles. He left a review before he even checked out. 4 stars. Clean enough. Quiet. Would recommend. The review was posted at 2:09 a.m. After that, his digital footprint vanished. No social media posts. No texts. No calls. His bank card was never used again. His car was found in the parking lot with the keys in the ignition and the radio playing white noise. The only thing missing was his backpack. Inside the backpack was his laptop, his charger, his textbook, and a journal. The journal had one entry from the night he disappeared. It was written in pen. The handwriting started normal. Then it got shaky. Then it got small. Then it became impossible to read. The last legible sentence said, "The mirrors are not showing me anymore. They are showing someone who used to be me. And that person is crying. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why." The sentence repeats 9 times. Then the journal ends. On the final page, a single fingerprint. Not David's. Too small. Too old. A child's fingerprint. From a child who never stayed in room 209. From a child who never existed, but whose finger was pressed against that page less than an hour ago. You can still book room 209 tonight. The website is still active. The phone number still works. If you call, a voice will answer on the second ring. They will ask for your name and your credit card number. They will not ask for ID. They will not ask for a reason. They will simply say your room is ready. Check-in is after 9 p.m. Check-out is never. The voice on the phone is not the owner. The owner has been missing for 6 years. The voice is not the receptionist. The receptionist quit last month and cannot be found. The voice is something else. Something that has been answering phones in that motel longer than phones have existed. Something that learned to mimic human speech by listening through the walls. Something that has been practicing. And it has gotten very, very good. You wouldn't know it wasn't human. You wouldn't know until you hang up. Until you look at your call log. Until you see the duration. 0 seconds. The call never connected. The voice was never on the line. It was inside your phone the whole time. Waiting for you to press dial. Waiting for you to say yes. Waiting for you to confirm what the room already knew. You are coming. You have always been coming. You just didn't know it yet. The last thing you need to understand. Room 209 does not kill you. It does not need to. Death is an ending. The room does not believe in endings. It believes in waiting. It believes in the space between 209 and 210. That single minute that lasts for hours. That single minute that contains every fear you have ever had. That single minute that stretches and bends until you cannot remember what came before it or what will come after. That is where the room lives. In that minute. And now that you have read this, you are in that minute too. You have been in it since the first sentence. You will be in it until the last. And when the last sentence ends, the minute will not end with it. The minute will continue. The room will continue. And somewhere in a budget motel on a highway you have never driven, a door will open, a key will turn, a mirror will tilt, and a pair of white sneakers will walk across the ceiling toward a bed that is already warm. A bed that is waiting for you. A bed that has always been waiting for you. Are you comfortable? The room asked. You didn't answer, but the room heard you anyway. The room always hears. And now it knows. Now it knows everything.